milestone in the 2016 race. Joining me now, Clinton supporter Mitch Stewart. He was with President Obama's 2012 re-election campaign. Nomi Konst is a Sanders supporter and executive director of the Accountability Project, also with me. Alex Conant, who was communications director for Marco Rubio's campaign, is now a partner at Firehouse Strategies PR firm. And last but certainly not least, Trump campaign spokeswoman Katrina Pearson. Thanks one and all for joining me. Nomi, I'm very interested in hearing what you think, because you are a Sanders supporter and Hillary needs you if she's going to win. Where are you? Where's your head at? Where is your heart?
I mean, my heart is with the majority of those under the age of 45 who have been part of this movement. That includes Democrats, that includes independents, that includes first-time voters. You know, the country that we see moving forward is going to be a much more progressive country, a much more unified country. That's where my heart is right now. My head is I'm a Democrat. And so I like Senator Sanders, want to take on Donald Trump. And I think that we have to focus our energy on preventing this man from entering office. Likely he won't win based on what we're looking at today. But if we think about moving forward, where we're going as a movement, you know, we have to understand that Senator Sanders entered this race to change the party, to change the status quo, and he has done that. And so with those 23 contests that he's won, 22 states, and abroad, Democrats abroad, you know, we see a different type of party, and I think it's really important to take that message to the convention, to get money out of politics, to get the lobbyists out of the Democratic Party, to make the Democratic Party more transparent, and to focus on the grassroots and bring the money back to the states so that we can get candidates that aren't just great fundraisers, but great leaders who represent ideas, who can work with the other side. And I think that's the future of the Democratic Party, a party much more like the FDR party, the Jacksonian party that we were taught to be a part of. All right. The Democratic Party lost its way.
Interesting. Nomi. Well, Mitch, let me ask you, Nomi has a lot of thoughts there and a lot of passion, although it does sound like she is willing to work hard for whoever the Democratic nominee, and it looks like it's going to be Hillary Clinton. Yeah. There are a lot of Sanders supporters who are still Bernie or bust Sanders supporters. Yeah. One of my cousins, in fact, who just voted in California, is a Bernie or buster, I have to say. Just in the name of full disclosure, one of my cousins. I have family members who support everybody. But what do you do for my cousin Joey? What are you going to do to tell him you need to come on board?
I think perspective is important here. And I was part of the 2008 primary, which frankly was much nastier than this one and was much closer. And so we were very purposeful about reaching out to former Clinton supporters at that point to invite them into the campaign. And I think it's going to start both with, at that case in 2008, it was Senator Obama and Senator Clinton. It's going to have to come from Senator Sanders and Secretary Clinton. If his supporters see him actively participating in this campaign, understanding the importance of what's at stake here, I think you'll see a lot of those Bernie Sanders supporters come on board.
Katrina, I know that you have said before that Sanders supporters, a lot of them, in your view, are going to go to Donald Trump. It doesn't sound like Nomi is headed in that direction. How many Sanders supporters do you think that truly you're going to be able to get?
Well, I think the polls are showing, 1 in 4, maybe. I think it's probably going to be half at some point. But Nomi's right. There is a transition happening, not just in this country, but globally. The consciousness is definitely changing, and younger voters want to see the status quo busted up. And for those voters, those are going to be trigger voters. They're not really concerned about all the other things, and it really transcends party. And right now, in a race between Hillary Clinton and Donald Trump is the only option to break up that system, particularly with policies like the Trans-Pacific Partnership, which could ultimately end the ability for people to change anything moving forward. Interesting.
And Alex, what do you make of it all? Do you think that Sanders supporters, a sizable number of them, are so upset with the status quo, so upset with big money in politics, so upset with the trade deals that they might actually take a serious look at Donald Trump?
Well, we haven't seen much evidence of that yet. I think Katrina's message that she just laid out is the right one to win over Sanders voters. But just look at what's happened in the last 48 hours. We've seen the sort of uniting on the Democratic side that we haven't seen on the Republican side in the 6 weeks since Donald Trump has been our presumptive nominee. If Trump is going to win this fall, he has to unite Republicans. The fact that he's been unable to do that over the last 6 weeks, while Hillary Clinton's been able to unite Democrats in just 48 hours, sends shivers down the spines of Republican operatives.
And Mitch, this is your day as the one Hillary supporter here, so let me ask you, do you think that there is evidence that the Sanders supporters are going to go to Trump. Are you concerned about even 20% would be horrible for her?
No, I'm not concerned about it. I'm really not. And I think what you're going to find with both President Obama, President Clinton, Warrens, and Senator Sanders all out on the stump, crisscrossing the country talking about why Secretary Clinton's the best candidate, I think you're going to see a mass movement, a unification of not just Democrats, but people who support the left, progressives, center-left voters, moderates, because they're going to understand what's at stake here. And literally, there's no one doing this for Trump. There's no one. None of the former candidates are out there talking on behalf of Donald Trump right now. And I think that's a pretty
not entirely
statement.
true. We are going to have Ben Carson on this very show in just a few minutes talking in favor of Mr. Trump. So with one exception, if you will. Nomi, Katrina, Alex, Mitch, Stewart, thanks one and all. Really appreciate it. Donald Trump attending some meetings of his own.